Mick Foley's here. He turned out to be the ugliest Beatle. Not Mick Foley. I'm talking about Paul McCartney. Mick Foley, better known as Mankind, better known as Cactus Jack, better known as Dude Love.
Better known as anything but Mick Foley.
Yeah, Mick Foley used to be a wrestler. Now he's not anymore. He got out. He's been writing books. His first book took everyone by surprise because it was like #1 on the bestseller. Right. There he is.
Yeah, and he proved that wrestlers could do well writing books.
Yeah, there's Mick. And I always wait to see Mick smile, see if he replaced those teeth. No. That's like his thing.
You know, when he wants to be low-key and incognito, he puts in teeth.
No, I don't, but I'm thinking about it.
You know what drives me crazy about you? That, you know, you went around for years, you know, getting your thing in wrestling going. You were Dude Love first, right?
This is way back in my home movies days.
Now, who was Dude Love?
Robin, I'd rather not talk about that.
Yeah, he was Dude Love.
I mean, what kind of character was that?
Well, it
doesn't sound straight.
When I was a wrestling fan, that's what I envisioned myself being. You know, I was going to try to be all the things I wasn't in real life, you know. Like
handsome.
Handsome, you know.
See, I think you're a good-looking guy.
Well, yeah, no, I've aged gracefully, I think.
Yeah.
We both have.
Anyway, it's not easy to be good-looking with no teeth. And he does it. Dude Love, then you become Mankind.
Right.
Mankind, I mean, no. First you're Dude Love.
Right.
Then you become Cactus Jack.
Right.
And, like, the only people who were your fans when you were Cactus Jack, like Elephant Boy. Where is Elephant Boy? Is he coming in here?
No, and you know what? I got the picture of you and I in the book, and actually Elephant Boy was in that original picture. Which
you told me he's here.
Is he?
Yeah. Because you see, I want to talk to you about this because you mentioned him in your book this time. Yeah, bring in Elephant Boy because he loves Cactus Jack.
You're kidding? I thought he was on the lam.
No, he's back.
Can I give him a hug on the air? You're not going to take less of me?
No, go ahead. Give him a hug. Dude Love. I don't care about those rumors. Give a manly hug.
I don't care about the rumors.
A lot of slapping of the back.
Elephant Boy, you were on the lam for a while. You weren't doing the show, but now you're back.
It's not... Oh, kiss me. Sorry.
Kiss you?
No, excuse me.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. All right.
No, it's that there was things I refused to do for you. And it's upcoming on
What kind of things were you asking him to do?
Dude, you've done everything. How could you... I mean...
No, it was a long time ago, and I thought you wasn't speak to me, and, you know, because I refused to do
I called
something.
you a spick. I never did that.
I don't understand. You were asking him for sexual favors?
No.
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. What I asked you to do? Oh, I didn't respect you.
No.
What?
I don't want to dredge up old stuff. I'll just go over it very quickly.
Yeah.
That whole thing when Fred was supposed to make the porn movie with the girl, but he was doing weird stuff to himself, and he was getting ripped off, and then we started helping him get representation. He got really weirded out by that whole scene.
It wasn't my fault. You got yourself into it.
I never blame you. When people ask me, how come you're not on the show? I said, like...
I got upset that you were in the porn movie and you were wearing women's stockings and high heels and garters and stuff. And Mick, I don't know if you know about this.
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, I talk about it a little bit in the book. You know what I wrote? I was a little more explicit with what exactly he did. And then I did a little self-edit. I was like, I don't think the people need to know exactly what actions went on.
Good man.
I just said it was something to do with lewd acts and a video camera.
Yeah, so I just felt if they were going to make money with you, you should get paid.
Yeah, that's it. But after that happened, you want me to do excessive something to expose myself on film. I said, I don't need...
What was that, Fred?
What did he say?
After that, we wanted to do something else where he was going to exploit himself on film.
Really? The gangbang, the whack-pack gangbang.
Oh, we asked him if he wanted to be part of the whack-pack.
Oh, I didn't ask you. I mean, I said, do you want to do it if you want to be in on it?
Yeah, well, first nobody told me why I was coming out to show. When I found out, I said, you know...
Well, we want to get your honest reaction.
I know you like spontaneity.
Yeah.
That's why you do want to...
I just figured a guy who would get into women's, high heels and stockings was up for anything. I don't know.
I was going through a stupid period in my life.
Really?
Hey, by the way, don't feel bad.
I'm still going through my stupid period.
I'm still going through my stupid period,
we're
too.
all in our stupid period.
But like I said, I did not say nothing bad about you. I think because I didn't want to go on the show, you did not want me back. So
I'm having trouble understanding you. For a while,
he just talked about how there was.
What do you say?
There was a self-imposed ban for about a year, but now he's back and he's ready to come.
He said that.
All right.
It's not like a self-imposed ban. I thought you did not want me on the show.
We never said that. We used to call you and you were sort of not digging us.
So
you're delusional.
I never thought, but I'm just saying...
You know what this reminds me of, now that I can't understand you? It's not that you're Elephant Boy, you're Cousin It. Remember when Cousin It would talk, and then Gomez would go, Morticia, Cousin It just said... Yeah, he'd be like,
trying to interpret.
Yeah, you're more cousin it than anything.
Well, I asked about Fred last time I was on in December, and you guys had to break the news. Well, Fred doesn't really want anything to do with us anymore.
Fred said he didn't want to do the show anymore.
Nobody called me the last time Mick was on.
Nobody called you the last time because you had made it really clear that you just wanted to lay low for a while.
Yeah, maybe lay low, but not to be completely off the show.
Oh, please.
Right.
But
because the show was good for you. You were getting you had that girlfriend for a while and everything.
It was good in some way, but
some ways it's bad.
We were all good. You messed up.
I think this. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want you to make it seem that I am blaming you. Do not take
How's your life now? Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's okay. But I'm
everyone in your family all right? Your mom all right?
Make it sound like I want to climb off of you.
No.
If I leave the show, I have nothing but good intention. So people told me, how about going on the other station with to talk show? I said,
you know what's funny? You know what's funny?
Yeah.
My grandpa Stern.
Right.
He came from another country, and I never could understand a word he said. He couldn't speak English, but he sounded a lot like Elfenborn, because he'd be like, he didn't have the high voice. But
me and Grandpa Stone.
Wait, you remind me of Grandpa Stern.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm happy to see Fred, but the truth is I was sitting in the green room for half an hour listening to farts.
I know, he's getting very upset.
I got a book to promote, and this guy's killing my time here.
No, come on, man, relax. We're just hanging out. You know that.
You know what? Fred said something really cool just now. I don't know if you caught the whole thing.
I didn't understand a word.
He just said, hey, listen, I was off for a year. I had to take my time and everything, but I don't hold anything against you. What I did was for me.
Right.
And I got to tell you, I was asked to go on with these two other guys, and I would never do that to you. I'm loyal to the show, even when I'm not on it.
Oh, at the Imitators?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They call all our guests. It's really great. We have a 24-hour-a-day Howard Stern show going on now in New York.
But, you know, Fred's rewriting history just a little bit.
Yeah.
He decided not to do the show. We never.
Absolutely.
No, he's saying that.
No, he kept saying we didn't call him. Who's going to call when you said you're not going to do the show?
I never go up, Gary. I never go up, Gary.
Wait, Fred. Hold my book while you talk. So people see the damn thing a little bit.
By the way, who's that on the cover of the book?
That was me with my haircut.
Oh, okay.
I got to cut my hair just so I resemble that guy again.
Yeah, that's
Fred, are you so we're happy you're back and everything. What are you up to lately? Have you been dating?
I'm saying somebody, but out of respect for her, I am not talking.
Does she know she's seen you?
Oh, it is a her.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, good.
Wait a minute, but does she live here or does she live somewhere else?
It's the same one.
Oh.
This year.
Boy, this is a long relationship.
It became so low for me.
She was there?
She was there for me.
Is there any talk of marriage?
What?
Any talk of marriage? Because you guys have been together a long time.
Probably, yes. But
Really?
Yeah, but to who?
I don't want to say too much.
Just talk of marriage, but she doesn't understand it.
She, like with me, I've been through a lot in my life. She's been through a lot in her life.
What have you been through?
I don't want to say.
I think Elephant Boy has a book in him.
Yeah, you better go talk to him, Mick.
You know, Fred, I'm going to step out, but I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
If you guys ever decide to marry, I will make it worth your while to do it here. I will really make it worth
We'll
your
throw
while.
a big party for
When
you.
she's listening to that show, I will bring up the subject with her.
The idea of hearing your vows on the air?
Please, he's got to recite them all.
Wherever said before, I think she would. I'm not speaking for her.
Is she wearing a ring?
What? No, not yet.
What? Like, you don't understand her?
Has your mom met her?
What?
Has your mom met her?
What?
Yeah, she's
What?
okay.
Oh, your mom has met her?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
What?
Yeah. What? I'm lost.
Okay. Hey, so Elephant Boy, Mick, I swear to you, we're going to promote the book, but this is too fascinating.
I know, it's
for a
good
second.
We
stuff.
haven't
good.
talked to him in a long time.
Yeah, but wait a
I
second.
understand.
Yeah.
Elephant Boy, you do understand? I don't.
I know my role.
Yeah. Elephant Boy,
I know how to climb.
you're telling me that girl that you were with, you're
Yeah.
back with her.
Yeah.
You guys are thinking of getting married.
We're not thinking. I mean, within time.
Right.
You know.
And where is she living? Still in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Oh, so
How
you
much time does it take?
are you going back and forth?
As I said before, she's going through a tough period of her life. And she's on, like with me, with put on the correct road.
Okay.
I see. Okay. Don't know what that means.
Good. I
don't know what he said.
They're on the correct road. You didn't get that?
No.
Yeah.
They've got tough times, but they're both on the correct road.
Are you guys living together?
No, not yet.
How can they live together when
two
he's
kids, so
No.
hopefully
Imagine Elephant Boy's your stepdad.
How much 2 strikes in life? You have no dad, and elephant. Your mom marries Elephant Boy.
I got a mom and an elephant.
Can you imagine Elephant Boy sitting you down to talk about the facts of life?
Yeah. If it does happen, I will probably move to Cleveland.
You will?
Really?
Oh, that's sad.
Cleveland.
What about your job?
Well, I'm not... Well, hopefully, when I'm ready, I'm not going to Cleveland unless I'm working. Yeah. So,
you got to find a job.
That's a must. I'm not going to live off of her. When I go there,
you're no toy boy.
Yeah. No way.
She's like Madonna.
No, I'm like a Richie.
Oh, look at you. You're in love. Hey, who would have known that? I'm happy for Elephant Boy.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. And she satisfies you? You don't think about guys or anything?
No.
Oh, hey, Beside Mick Foley, always Mick Foley.
That's good.
You know what's really funny?
Don't kid like that.
At the fight, we had Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H, and Fred was sitting there, and I said to them at one point, do you know that guy? And I pointed to Fred.
Right.
And they go, isn't that Mick Foley's guy?
Oh, man. So, Mick, you decided... Go ahead, Fred. You want to say something about Mick Foley?
I said, well, it's not like somebody... If I have to fight against your wife, I'll win for you. No.
All right. Elephant Boy challenging your wife in a duel for you.
No, she's very sweet.
Hey, Fred placed a lot of strain on my marriage about that.
Well, I want to talk about that. Mick Foley, in his new book, Mick Foley's book, Foley is Good and the Real World is Faker Than Wrestling, is available at bookstores everywhere. And Mick's going to be doing a signing today at the WWF restaurant in Manhattan where we had the fight.
Yeah.
That's today at 5 to 7 p.m. But in the book, you do credit Elephant Boy quite a bit. And what you say is that when you, and I was going to make this point, and going back a second, you were Dude Love, Cactus Jack. When you were Cactus Jack, you were pretty obscure.
Right.
Then you become Mankind.
Yeah.
Mankind explodes. You become one of the biggest wrestlers. And then you retire. Why not milk it?
Well, I did milk it for an extra year or so. I mean, I did it for 15 years. I was able to catch that last end.
Because you were making some big money at the end. And,
yeah.
You know, when you were Cactus Jack, I remember you came on my show, and the reason you came on is because Elephant Boy brought you in.
Yeah, that was the only reason.
And you say in your book, Elephant Boy was the first celebrity I ever met.
Oh.
Wow. He was the only wrestling personality at my wedding 10 years ago.
Right, and you became so friendly with him. You detail your relationship with Elephant Boy. He became so friendly that he even hung out at your house, although you wouldn't let him near your kids.
No, that was last year when I was on the show. Yeah. I brought him back to the hotel. So I let him say hello to Colette, but I was like, nah, the kids, stay in the other room.
I really, no.
I didn't think they were ready for that.
You couldn't explain Elephant Boy.
They're not children.
But remember the Butt Bongo Fiesta tape?
Yeah.
That was what placed the strain, because my wife came down. It's like she's very...
this is a great story, and it's in the book. Go ahead.
It's in the book. My wife is very understanding, but there's 2 things I'm not supposed to do, and that's watch porno and go to adult clubs. And so she came down. I was having trouble sleeping. She comes down. She watches me. She catches me watching Butt Bongo Fiesta,
which Fred gave you.
Fred gave to me, and I tried claiming it's not a porno tape. No, there's Howard Stern.
Right.
And so anyway, the tape mysteriously vanishes. And Fred won't leave me alone about it. He called me every day, and it was like my wife would get the message, and there's Fred with those 3 words, Butt Bongo Fiesta. I can't do the voice.
You wanted your tape back.
I wanted it over
That's
and over
understandable.
and over. Yeah, so not only caused a strain with my wife and I, but Fred and I stopped talking.
Fred and you broke up.
Yeah.
No.
Wrestling became big, and I really didn't need him as much anymore.
What are you saying, Fred?
No, he was on the road, so I know that he was
but you were annoyed because Butt Bongo Fiesta was your tape.
Yeah, but I'm not
gave it to me.
Well, I'm not going to take him to Judge Judy to sue off.
I'd watch that, Judge Judy. You take him to Judge Judy and sue him right on TV. That'd be great.
No, everything's good. I know he's on the road. It's very
But you don't hang out with him anymore, do you?
No, he's all over the road.
You're giving him excuses. I want to hear what he has to say.
Mick, why not be friends with Elephant Boy? Are you too big? Do you think
No, I am friends. To tell you the truth, I came here in December. I kind of felt naked without him here. He's been here for every single time. I've been on 5 times in 10 years.
Right.
But he's been here every time. So people are like, Mick, your appearance on Stern, you look a little shaky, And I was like...
You go into so many good stories in the book. There's stuff you've told me about over the years, like when you were in some wrestling match and you lost your ear.
Yeah.
And you were in Germany, I think it was.
Yes, it was.
And he goes into the hospital, and they just hunks of his ear on the ground, and they say we can't reattach it. and he says, well, let me have my ear. I want to at least bring it home. It's my ear. And the German nurse goes, your ear is too smelly. It will be smelly.
Yes, you know, I used to speak pretty decent German, so I told her I wanted to keep the ear, and she says, nein, es ist zu schmutzig, which means it'll smell, and she kind of pinched her nose. And as I was fumbling for the German word for formaldehyde, you know, I wanted to carry it home in a little jar.
Dude, it's your ear.
It's my ear. And she, like, stepped on the little, you know, those little medical trash cans where the lid pops up. And she threw it out. And, threw it out right in front of me. And then she turned around and asked me if, you know, wrestling was all a Schauspiel, which means is it all fake? I was like, well, you know, you just threw my ear out. You know?
How fake can that be? Maybe it's fake, but it's still dangerous. It's kind of weird.
But, you know, there's that documentary they're now running out on cable, which features Mick a lot. And the most disturbing thing is to watch your children watching you.
Yeah, that wasn't a real good parental decision that night.
No, he takes them. You know what he does? He literally gets thrown around and beaten with chairs.
Yeah, I mean, for real.
And falls onto tables and bleeds a lot. That's what he did for a living.
Yeah.
And he took these precious little babies. They're sitting there and they're crying while they watch their father get beaten up.
Hey, at least he didn't expose them to Elephant Boy. I like that he lets them see that, but he won't let them meet Elephant Boy.
You know what?
Because he comes out, his face is covered in blood.
Right.
And he's telling his daughter, who can't even look at him, Daddy's okay.
Right.
It was
Things got a little out of hand there, Robin. And
so what are you doing now? You just writing the books?
Well, I'm writing the books, and I'm on the show once in a while. You know, I've got a couple children's books already illustrated. I got a Halloween book coming out in September. So
how did the children's book do?
Did pretty good, considering it was banned in thousands of stores around the country.
Why?
One of the elves was naked. It was one of these things. I heard this. It's like, no, you know, all the major chains aren't carrying the book.
Why'd they do that? It was a children's book.
It was a children's book because there's, for some reason, when it involves wrestling, it's under a much bigger.
But why would you have a naked elf in a children's book?
Because the elf was naughty. So Santa lost control of the North Pole and took a special little kid.
Did the elf's penis show?
No, the elf's penis wasn't showing. No, he was about as naked as Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, really?
It was one of these things, and it really was. I mean, one book critic called it the best children's book of the year, but you know, this other guy with the PTC, he labeled it as being wretched and filthy, and what kind of parent would buy the stuff with this garbage? And I'm like, geez, you know.
How about your first book though, man? It was #1 on the bestseller.
Yeah, that's true.
#1, man. Whoever would have predicted that?
Nobody.
That's why you got your second book. Who's that with? Judith Regan?
This was Judith Regan also. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's good. And when you were in college,
you weren't at the literary salon the other day?
No, he wasn't there. Judith had a dinner Saturday night with all her writers.
And she didn't invite me?
No, you were not there.
Oh,
I'm lucky I got invited. Here's a couple of facts you didn't know about Mick Foley. When Mick was in college, he would entertain his roommates by jumping out a second-story window.
Not true. Exaggerated.
Really?
He's jumping off a 2-foot bed.
Oh,
Not
come
really
on.
The same thing. No, I'm taking too much heat as the guy who popularized backyard wrestling, Howard. I'm not gonna take credit for something I didn't do.
Yeah.
I almost jumped out a second-story window and I was stopped.
I see. So the point
Somebody
is...
else thought better of that.
So the point is that you are now out of wrestling, except for an occasional appearance as like a, what do you call it, the chairman.
And you can be all right. You don't have to get a job or anything?
No,
Elephant Boy doesn't have to help you out?
I've got this writing thing going for me. I'm like the guy who made $1 million off of farts, except I actually had to,
you actually had to write something.
Yeah.
Jackie, you're on the air.
Hey, Nick, just want to say love the book. And also, I'm one of the girls who gave you the Owen Hart picture.
Oh, you wanted to buy my car, too, right?
Yeah, I do.
You know, I still carry that picture of Owen in my wallet.
I know.
Yeah,
He's
thank
a great
you.
guy.
Owen Hart, you were good friends with him. He's the guy who died. Do you write about him in the book?
Yeah, I did.
He's the wrestler who died from the wire breaking on the... They were lowering him into the...
Now, you're not upset with Vince McMahon, are you?
Because of that?
Or anything.
Well, you know, I get upset with Vince from time to time, but...
Not over that?
Well, I don't think that was his fault. I don't think that was really anybody's fault.
But should he have stopped the wrestling match and gone on?
That's a tough call. You know, they say that Owen would have wanted the show to go on, and I'm like, I don't know what Owen would have wanted. If it was me, I wanted not just the show, but the entire world to stop.
Yeah, right. Everyone should die.
Damn if you don't.
You know, there was really no right. There's no right or wrong decision. You know, I mean, he took a lot of flack for it, but he would have taken a lot of flack if he stopped the show too.
Right.
So who's
Bingo is
that's a tough. You know, for me, that's a tough chapter to read through, even though I read it a few times.
So,
Josh,
what are you upset with Vince McMahon about?
Oh, wait, Robin wants to know why. Well, let's take this call instead.
Why are you upset with Vince McMahon? Answer the question. Come on.
You know what? I mean, there's I make some. The best thing I can say about Vince is he allows me to criticize him in a book that's basically his to edit and censor. Right. And when the other guys are running around, you can't say that about Vince. Vince's reactions, let him say what he wants to say. You know.
So that's fair-minded.
Yeah,
I mean, Josh,
okay, go ahead.
Sorry, Josh, you're on the air.
Hey, Mick, I'm a huge fan, and I'm in a band from Rhode Island that actually has a song about you called Have a Nice Day.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, if I can give the name of the band and stuff, is that cool, Howard?
Yeah, I don't care.
The name of the band is Blackstone Valley Crew, and we got a website, blackstonevalleycrew.com.
Hey, wait a second. Let me plug my website, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Howard, you know, I'm a real big believer in the book signings like you were.
Yeah.
And I tell them, unlike Shatner, you know, that if there's a big line there, I'll pretty much stay till everybody's done.
That's what I did.
But I have a little cheat sheet here. In addition to the thing tonight at WWF New York, it's my big New York tour. It's Borders in Stony Brook tomorrow from 7 to 9 and Poughkeepsie on Saturday from 5 to 7. If anyone wants to know if I'm coming to a town near them, they can log on to mickfoley.com, as I'm doing about 14 of these things.
Dave, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard.
Yo.
Ask Fred about the...
I don't like the tone of his voice.
A couple of weeks ago, he hit a turkey up here in the Poconos, went through his windshield.
Yeah.
And he stopped at a convenience store.
We're not a turkey, a Canadian kiss. I was going through the Poconos all up to Sunday. A ball flew in front of my car before I could react. Bang! My windshield was smashed.
You're telling me you were driving your car?
Yeah.
Well, you got no luck in life. You're driving your car. You were in the Poconos and a turkey hit your car?
Oh, no. Canadian geese.
Canadian geese?
Much bigger, too.
Yeah.
And it hit your car and went through the windshield.
I just smashed my windshield, didn't go through it.
Oh.
You know, just...
And, dude, what happened? So Fred shows up at your... I just wonder, like, when something like that happens and Fred needs help, and then he shows up at your store, and let's say you don't listen to the show, and he goes,
Yeah, you immediately start calling ambulances because you think he's terribly hurt.
What'd you do? You go to a store and you start asking for help?
I forgot what happened. No.
How did you meet up with Fred? How do you know this story, Dave?
A friend of mine told me about it, but Fred walks into the convenience store. Nobody could understand what the hell he's saying.
Yeah.
Some guy next door from a card shop or something had to come over, and he was interpreting. Fred's calling around trying to find a place to replace his windshield, and they keep hanging up on him.
Like, what did
he's a retard.
Yeah, what do you think? He's like retarded, right?
Yeah.
Frank called.
What a life. Yeah. Dude, you got to write a book. You and Mick Foley.
Mick can be my ghostwriter.
Yeah, I'll be his ghostwriter.
Yeah. Is it frustrating? Like everyone thinks you're retarded and stuff?
Yeah, it's hard.
Right.
But through you people
understand.
Yeah, but if he walked in and said, I just had a car accident, wouldn't you think something was terribly wrong?
Yeah, we got to get you to a hospital. It's like being Herman Munster. Remember when Herman Munster gets in the car accident on that episode? And they rush him to the hospital because they think he's dead? And then he gets up from the morgue? It's like, oh my God, this poor bastard. He lost all talking skills. I'm just knocked over the knee. I'm like, all right, sir, lay down.
He's brain-dead.
Lay down. That's beautiful. Yeah. I love it. He hit a geese.
He had a stroke in the hospital, and he's just fine. Yeah.
Dave, you're on the air.
Yeah, Mick, 2 questions for you. Did you ever poop in your pants? And has anyone ever farted on you, like when you're in a leg lock?
I have pooped in my pants a couple times.
In a fight?
You know, some of the things I do are high impact, and you know, when you hit, sometimes it
like what
will.
Were you doing when that happened?
You know, like dropping an elbow from 12 feet in the air, and you'd hit the ground, and you know.
And you crap your pants?
I've made sure. That was about 10 years ago. I make sure now that I consult with the bathroom before I wrestle. And as far, have I ever farted on somebody, or has someone ever farted on me?
Yeah, like when your head was near their butt because you were in a leg lock or something.
No, but I one time farted on the junkyard dog, who is no longer with us during a match. He is dead, but I don't think that was the cause of death.
Steve, go ahead real quick.
Hey, Mick,
those are both very good questions, by the way.
Very relevant. Steve, go ahead.
Hey, Mick.
Yes.
This is Nick D'Amico.
Nick, how are you?
Great. I'm in town. I got a full band version of the rock opera. I got a 2-song demo I want you to hear.
This guy wrote a rock opera about my life. He took the book Have a Nice Day. He was afraid of being sued, so he had to change the chapters around a little bit.
Dude, are you gay?
No, I'm not gay.
No, he's got a really good-looking... Is it girlfriend or wife?
girlfriend.
Yeah, girlfriend. Very.
Did you like the rock opera?
Yeah, I did like it, but the thing is, he's a very talented musician, but man, the version he gave me, it was a terrible singer, so it was like, I'd play the music and it'd be really good, and I'd like try to, ride the bike or something, and I would have to turn it off fairly quickly.
I wrote a rock opera.
I just don't, there's two questions.
Man, he's in love with you.
It's been, I got a 2-song demo. I'm in town. I want to give it to you so you can hear it now with the full band.
This doesn't sound like Nick anyway.
Why don't we just give you his hotel location, and then you can go stop by and party with him and his wife.
Yeah, Nick, you've got my number. I don't think it's the real Nick anyway. Right. But I have two questions about this rock opera. One, is there an audience for a rock opera about my wife? And two, would I want to associate with anyone willing to listen to a rock opera about my life? And I think
Zolar, you're on the air.
Good morning, Howard. This is Zolar.
Yes, Zolar.
Mick Foley.
Yes.
I would just like to say, everybody go to MickFoley.com before I take up any of your time you got your plug in, because I'd like to yell at the thing I hate most in life, and that's homos. Fred. The Elephant Boy.
Hey.
You are a homo. I remember your videotape. I was breezed over it lightly, but the audience will never forget the time when you put on the women's panties and utilized a marital aid in a very improper place.
This guy's been a little rough on Fred, isn't he?
Hey,
you know what, Howard? I'm going to
We're happy to have Fred back.
I'm here. What the hell are you doing with your pathetic life?
My pathetic life? I'm from the audience.
Get up, you asshole.
You.
Fred, come on. Fred, I'm going to stick up for you here.
Okay.
You know what, Howard, this picture of you and I came falling out of a book, and I rushed it to New York.
Holy, shut up. I already gave you your plug. I'm yelling at a homo.
No, I'm trying to stand. I'm trying to make a stand. Trying to make people feel a little better about themselves.
That. I'm yelling at a homo. Homo.
All right, thank you.
I would say he's a little homophobic himself.
Brett, go ahead. Yeah, Elephant Boy doesn't.
You don't deserve that.
Elephant Boy has his fans.
I was going to say, I was going to put a picture of me and skater Rudy Galindo in my book just to show, hey, Mick Foley's not afraid of these guys.
Right. Brett, go ahead. You're on the air.
All right. I want to ask Mick. I want to, if like...
You can't yell at Fred after your question, though.
Right. I just want to know if when he's ever in the ring, if he's ever had any other wrestlers get like wood while he's pinning them down or anything.
I don't think Fred's been in the position to pin other wrestlers down.
Right. No, I was talking about Mick.
Do I ever get wood?
No, not you.
Have you ever seen a guy wrestling you and get wood?
Oh, God.
This is usually, if a guy wears a singlet underneath their, the trunks, it's a singlet kind of puts a lot of pressure on the male organ and doesn't allow wood really to arise.
Well, there you go. One time I was watching, and what's his name, Norman Smiley or Smiley or whatever.
Well, he's a black guy.
He just seemed like he was getting a little too happy. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, I don't know.
No offense, he's a black guy.
Black guy.
Well, you can tell
What's offensive about that?
Well, there's a story in my book about when we kind of like played a joke on Al Snow by Al. I found out didn't wear underwear underneath his singlet, so I had one of the other wrestlers when we were in Montreal, when he's giving him a suplex, kind of took Al, his legging from one side to the other. A suplex where you hold the guy straight up in the air, and this guy, Bob, was super strong. He had him up there for like 10 seconds, and so I was like, Al and I have this long-standing tradition of making fun of each other and playing jokes. But in front of 18,000 people.
His meats are hanging out?
It wasn't hanging out. I described it, and he wasn't like grooming his bush like a lot of people do, so I describe in the book as in front of 18,000 people, I saw what appeared to be a sparrow's egg peeping out of a vulture's nest. So there's really not a whole lot of wood being displayed in a wrestling match.
David, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, it's time for you to retire.
Who?
Mick or me?
Both of you.
Okay. Well, Mick already retired from the wrestling ring.
Yeah. Well, you ought to follow him then.
Yeah, you think so?
Howard hasn't done very well for himself, has he?
Yeah, maybe it is time. Believe me, you know what? After me and Tom Chiasano yelling at each other during the commercials today, I think it is time for me to retire. I think you might be right.
It's time for you to retire because you get so many homos on there.
Oh, come on.
Stuttering John. And
Stuttering John's now a homo?
Now he's a homo?
BJ Benza.
BJ
Benza. Hey, AJ, somebody asked me, what does AJ stand for?
Al Jackin.
What?
Al's jacking. He jacks guys. He's a homo. Sucks. AJ, you suck.
All right, man.
Benza over. AJ Benza over.
Bend over.
He sounds like the kind of guy I'd like to hang out with.
Come on over and I'll hang out in you.
Wait. There's a guy claiming people are homos, and he's threatening me with a homosexual act?
Yeah.
Well, he's confused.
I'm just telling you how it is.
All right, homo. David, thank you.
Later, homo.
He's a heck of a guy.
Wow. I think he's funny. Hey, anyway,
I bring the best out of people.
What is that?
I bring the best out of people.
Yeah. Sounds like a poster.
And I bring the best other people.
Oh, I know you do. All right.
Homo this,
homo this, homo that. Joe, what is it? You have the last word.
Thanks, Howard. Mick.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to come out with a talking book of your books? I'm visually impaired and unable
Oh, really?
to read your book.
You know what? I did that for the last one, but I don't think it. I don't think it did that well.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. When I did my book, they asked me to do a talking book. And, so what you have to do is, read the whole book.
And if you make one little mistake, you have to do the whole paragraph over.
Yeah, so I just said, you know what? It's too much work. I don't want to sit and read my own book into a tape recorder. So then I got, all frustrated with that. So then I said, I'll do an edited version, and I'll put, clips in of all the little examples in the book.
Bits of the show or something?
So I hired a person to help me with it and to, organize a script. And it's just, wait a second. It's turned into a whole movie. I wrote the damn book. That's it. You know, it's like F the blind. I got to go on with my life.
Oh, F the blind.
Robin did it, and it was great.
Robin did it. Robin did a great job. Actually, I would have liked to have done it, but I swear to you, I ran out of steam. I was just exhausted.
He got tired.
I lost my voice. And then, the thing about people like my book is it comes across real conversational. But then when I read it, it sounds like I'm reading a book. So
you know what it is? How many did you sell?
It sold, including...
I'm talking about the audio portion.
I don't even know. I haven't even seen the details.
The blind people have to go out and support this.
How many blind people are there, really?
Then I said, you know what I'll do? I'll get a celebrity to read it. So I went to James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones, right? It was funny as hell, because Letterman did a bit with James Earl Jones reading my book. So...
Nothing funnier than that.
I go up to, I say to the book company, get James Earl Jones to do it. That'll be a pisser. Everyone will want to own a copy of it. They go, all right. They call James Earl Jones. They offer him.
I'm just trying to visualize.
Listen to this. I'll play a bit.
Oh, it's great.
They offered a guy $5,000. This is a guy's making $2-3 million
right.
Just for doing a 60-second commercial.
Yeah. CNN.
CNN. So he was amenable to doing it. He wanted to do it, and then all of a sudden they offer him $5,000. He said they've never been so insulted.
Now he's hurt.
Yeah. So I said to the book, he said, you had James Earl Jones and you insulted the prick. I said, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to help blind people out. I want to get them the book. It's important that blind people hear my words.
Why should they be denied?
Right. Yeah, being blind's tough. You totally blind?
Visually impaired. I got about 25% vision in one eye.
Man, that's the toughest. That's the hardest.
Can you have somebody read it to you?
That's not easy.
I would be $25 an hour.
You what is that, Elfin Boy?
Yeah, I would be make book with for $5,000.
Oh, that's great. $5,000.
Yeah,
Elephant Boy read your book. I'll buy that tape.
Well, that's what you get for $5,000. You get Elephant Boy to read your book.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
Mick, Foley is God.
Yes.
All right, there you go. That's a nice phone call.
Elephant Boy, is he still your favorite wrestler?
Still is.
Not even wrestling.
Oh, my goodness.
But
can I ask you a question? Answer me honestly. Could you answer me honestly about this?
Yes.
Don't be embarrassed.
No, I'm not embarrassed.
Were you ever sexually attracted to Mick Foley?
No.
Be honest. What?
No, never was.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, I don't know.
And he was attracted to the other wrestlers, which makes our relationship so much more pure.
I never was attracted to any wrestlers.
Come on. I've seen Triple H.
You were, as I detailed last year, you used to hover around the showers.
I mean, for sportsmanship, athleticism, but not in what you're thinking.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how you can separate the two.
I can't.
Fred, you've said it all. And by the way, Elephant Boy, listen to this. Here's a plug for you.
Ooh.
Okay.
See Elephant Boy in NWA Professional Wrestling this Saturday, May 21st, 2001. Elephant Boy will be managing midget wrestling.
Really?
Yeah, so he's involved in the wrestling.
In Kingsport, New Jersey. Kingsport High School.
All right, there you go. Elephant Boy making his play.
Is it midget wrestling the wrong thing to say?
Yeah, isn't that supposed to be dwarf or little person wrestling?
No, they're not that politically correct in wrestling. They're still midgets, yeah.
They're a quite fat foot.
Yeah, all right. Anybody else on the phone? Tom, what's your story?
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you'd want to do a little reunion show. Maybe you guys could help me out. When I was like between 5 and 7, I don't remember, man. My old man split on me. I ain't seen him since. Split on me and my sisters, and it's totally ruined my life. I think I got a pretty good idea what city he's in, somewhere in New York.
Oh, you want to confront your dad? Hey, that's a whole nother show, dude. I got a bunch of other people here.
And Howard, I've got a reunion I want to do. Can I say this real quick? When I was 6 years old, I had a teacher that helped me with my writing. And I'm trying to find... It was a student teacher from Stony Brook University.
Should have written a song about her.
I'm trying to find that person so I can send her my book and tell her...
What's the name?
I don't know her name. But if she was a student teacher in Mrs. Newberry's class in 1971, I'm looking for you.
My favorite.
Today, Mrs. Dunn.
My heart starts to race when I see her in the halls. More so and she cut my balls.
14 years old. This kid wrote a song about his teacher. It's pretty good. Yeah. Now he's suspended.
You're the one. You make my fantasies so much fun.
Wow.
When I see you, I fall into a rage. I really don't care. You're terrible at my age.
14.
Age, I love it.
Hey, like that. Little Axl Rose-ish there?
Yeah.
Fred, you don't have the James Earl Jones piece, do you? All right, listen to this. This is fun.
Well, now, to help you get in the proper holiday mood, we'll be treating you to selections from one of this year's hottest gifts. I'm talking about the Books on Tape edition of Howard Stern's Miss America, as read by James Earl Jones. Here, Mr. Jones reads a passage about sex in cyberspace.
I'll have a special sex chair to sit in. And I'll strap on some goggles and choose between Heather Locklear, Cindy Crawford, or 3 hot lesbians. And I'll have hot monkey love with all my new girlfriends.
It's good when he reads it.
I still laugh.
Yeah, it's like music to my ears. Anyway, the great Mick Foley. The book is Foley is Good. The Real World is Faker Than Wrestling. It's available at bookstores everywhere. Also, Mick will be autographing copies of his book at the WWF restaurant in Manhattan today. Go over and see him from 5 to 7 o'clock. He'll stay there if, there's a lot of people online. Also, see Elephant Boy in NWA Professional Wrestling this Saturday, May 21. Elephant Boy will be managing midget wrestling over in Jersey in a high school.
Kingsport, New Jersey.
Kingsport?
No,
Kingsborough.
It's
I thought it was Kings Point.
I'm just trying to...
It's in New Jersey.
Kingsburg High School.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah. Maybe there would be a market for Fred reading my book.
Over and over again.
Have your people call my people.
We'll be back right after these words.
Okay. Therein.
Therein.
But you have to link it with an R. Therein. Ah!
Therein.
Good.
Therefore.
Good.
Thereby.
Very good. Okay. All right. Try the last column.
Okay. Smother.
Good.
Another.
Good.
Northerner.
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 We get your phone calls. We get your phone calls every day.
Hi, Casey. I'm the head fag over at the Playgirl Mansion. I just want to let you know I heard this show from the Playboy Mansion. It didn't sound like you were having too much fun. I just wanted to go ahead and give you an invite over to our place. I mean, there's plenty of ass play going on, plenty of gerbils to go around. So come on over. I think you'd have a good time. Bring Ralph if you'd like. And I hope to be hearing from you soon. Goodbye.
The Howard Stern Show.